Well, good morning, awesome, beautiful people. Chuck here in the No Time to Be Sad space. Today, I want to talk to you about the topic of building a permanent home base here in Thailand, buying a home as a foreigner. I want to give you my thoughts, maybe some clarifications of what I think about the topic. We've talked about it a lot on this channel. I think you guys know where I stand, but it's from my point of view. And yeah, it may not mean anything to somebody else because everybody's circumstances are different. So, of course, on our everyday life, I kind of share my thoughts and I try to get people to not overthink and not have so many things in the last quarter of their life. But I want to explain my position on it about building a home, why we don't own a home, which a lot of you already have heard multiple times. Let me start by saying what I think about is best in your scenario. If you're a single guy retiring in Thailand, unless you just have a lot of money, which doesn't make sense, still buying a condo, a lot of people buy condos and a lot of people regret buying the condo. I'm not saying that this is how it should be across the board. What I'm saying is that we just need to be sensible about things and just be a little bit patient because things change a lot here in Thailand. Especially the areas, the people, the environment, the government, all kinds of scenarios, the girlfriend, the wife, the visa stuff. There's a lot of things that are not on our side here. So as a single person, what I recommend is, you gotta establish, if you're coming here on a permanent visa, you've obviously already checked out Thailand. You obviously kind of know where you want to be, whether it's Jom Tien, Pattaya, Chiang Mai, Hua Hin, any one of those places. You've probably already decided this is where I'm going to establish myself at first and give it a try. You have to establish a home base for immigration purposes. You need a permanent resident to be able to have a long-term visa. Like a permanent address, I'll say, not a resident, but a permanent place, whether it's a hotel, whether it's a long stay place, a condo, rent a condo, something like that. But my suggestion to you, if you want to buy a condo, don't do it right off the bat. Go run around, visit Thailand. You might find yourself in Pattaya thinking, I love this place, this is like a playground for happiness, and do whatever I want. Food's good, there's a lot of people I can relate to, everything is great, and you might find yourself 6 months down the road regretting your decision. I'm not just saying this because it's just my thought. A lot of people share their scenarios on this channel, and I would just like to make your transition a little bit more successful, that's all. So I would suggest you come, so let's say you want to come to Hua Hin, you rent a long-term place, whether it's a home, a condo, a long stay place, a villa, whatever it is, and then you establish yourself with the immigration. Now you're going to have to check in with that local immigration to see what they require you. A lot of times when you come here, on a long-term visa, unless you got an agent, or not everything is the same. So not everything I'm telling you is going to be as accurate as what everybody's experienced in all different provinces. And a lot of it's based on their attitude, the immigration officer, a lot of different things. But normally on a long-term visa, you get a 90-day initial stamp. And normally what that does, it gives you 30 days to establish a residence, a bank account, and all the documents that they say that you're going to need to get your 1-year extension. And typically you have to, when you get the bank account, you have to have the funds in there for 60 days. After you get your extension, the rules change on how long the funds have to be in the account. You'll have to check with your immigration office on that. I just leave the money in there yearly. The rules as of now, like on a retirement visa, which is not the same as a marriage visa or a dependent visa, is you have to have the funds 3 months prior to your extension, 3 months after your extension, and it can't dip below 400,000 before that. So My immigration is very strict on it. If it goes down $1, they want you to go across the border and start over again. So, but not every place is the same. So as a single person, it doesn't make sense to try to anchor down. A lot of people come and they say, it's such a great deal. And now I've got my retirement funds, I've cashed out my 401k, I've got a pocket full of money. I'm like a millionaire in Thailand. I'm gonna buy this condo because I like it. I don't wanna deal with anybody's bull crap about getting, landlords jumping up the price and all kinds of, I'm gonna buy my own place. Okay. So you've invested this money, which is, all of a sudden no money, because you have a lot of money, in a condo. Well, management changes, environment changes, a lot of things change, and then you're not happy and you're stuck with the condo. But people say, oh, I can rent it out, or I can just sell it, like no problem. Well, you can go online and look at how many condos are for rent or for sale. And it's all just luck of the draw. But for me, like, time is important. Like, my time is very valuable. So the time it takes me to invest money to try to find a place and then maybe possibly sell the place later, the aggravation of it for me is not worth it. When you can just rent a condo, worst case scenario is, oh, my neighbors suck, these people are loud, so I lose like a few months worth of rent, maybe my deposit, and I go find another place. I'm not losing 2 million baht, or whatever the condo is. And I've said it before, I have some friends that have quite a bit of money, and they've got 3 condos in areas that they like to go because they don't want to deal with, they want their stuff in their place, and they're okay with that. So it makes sense to them. But as a new person coming over, just give it a year at least, and travel. Not everybody likes to travel. So my scenario is a little different. I like to travel a lot, and it makes no sense for me to buy a home. We live here Thai style in a Thai family home, which is, I think, difficult, because in the U.S., who would move in with their parents? It's a different thought process. But here, Thai families are a little bit different. Did I think it was going to work at first? No, I didn't. I very seriously doubt it. There was a language problem, a culture problem, a food problem. There was all kinds of problems, but I learned how to adapt, and I love it. I love the scenario, but it works out for us, because if we were to rent a house somewhere, we still would travel, and then we'd have to deal with the house stuff. So here we don't really have to deal with anything. We just leave our stuff here, and our family is here all the time. And we're only gone we're here usually 2 weeks and gone 2 weeks is our normal scenario for the past 9 years. So if I ask my wife, and I've asked her plenty of times, you want to build a home somewhere? I mean, she has a lot of land here in Thailand. Not a lot. She's got 3 different plots of land here in Thailand that we can build a home on. It wouldn't cost us that much because the land is already owned, and to have a decent home built out here in this area, a modest home that, it doesn't have to be a castle, for me would be between 2 and 3 million baht. So that's not a lot of money. But it just doesn't make sense for our scenario. And I like the fact that I'm flexible to be able to pick up and go. Like if war breaks out with Thailand and Cambodia, maybe I just want to go back. Maybe me and Paige want to take off with the family somewhere, or we want to go back to America. Maybe something happens in America and I got to go back for a year or so. It's easy just to pick up and go when you have less, commitments. So, if you're married to a Thai person, I think it's different. Like, you want to take care of your spouse. You want to make sure your spouse has something, you can give her something, or her, and her family something when you're gone. You want to establish something for family to settle in. Maybe you don't want to travel anywhere. You have no reason or want. You've traveled your whole life, whatever your scenario is, you just don't want to travel and you want to have a nice, comfortable home where you have your little things, your hobby, or whatever you want to do. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You're an adult, do whatever makes sense to you, you know. I think that building a home in a family situation or family scenario makes sense because it's very inexpensive to build a home here in Thailand. My only thing is when I'm trying to get people to understand that in their last quarter of their life, just enjoy it. Don't get tied into a lot of aggravation of having a home built, all these things that are not going to make sense to you during the process, spending the money. You know, why go through the aggravation when you can go rent, you and your wife, I'm sure she probably has family over here. You know, when you're gone, instead of leaving her a Western style home, leave her some money, you know, set her up a trust, you know, if you want to do something like that, and go rent a villa somewhere in Hua Hin or wherever, you know, in Chiang Rai. Go rent there something nice, and then if it doesn't work out, you can bail and go somewhere else, you know. When you get locked into a home, I think things become a little bit different, like you get a different feeling being here in Thailand. So that is just purely my opinion, I think. And from what I've seen, a lot of people, they become different when they're locked into their home and they're stuck there. And then sometimes they become bitter about things and projecting themselves on others. Unfortunately, being on YouTube, you get a lot of people that share good and bad stuff to you and what they think you should do. And by all means, I'm not telling you what to do. You know, you got here this far in your life. You obviously made enough money to retire, made the decision to come to Thailand for whatever reason that is. Only do what makes sense to you. I'm definitely not going to go build a home just so I can appear to be like everybody else. You know, I'm not going to do something just to satisfy everybody else because that's just what they expect, you know. And, you know, you can come up with your own conclusions on why no matter what I say, about why we live Thai style. A lot of people live Thai style that don't make YouTube videos, a lot. But you'd never know. You know, whether they live on a farm, you know, they built a farmhouse on the family's property or something like that, they're still like Thai style. When I say Thai style, I don't mean like living in a wooden stilted home, feeding buffalo all day and picking rice. I mean Thai style, like family Thai style, family living, the culture, stuff like that. That's really all I want to say about that. Is just I want to clarify that if you are a single person, I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it's wise. As a married person, you have to take whatever in consideration for your spouse's needs, your family needs, your needs, you know, what you want to do in the last quarter of your life. You know, if you have a home built, it's not going to go to waste. You know, you're doing it for somebody. So, and you know, we do the same thing basically. We live here because my wife, you know, has to take care of her mom. My mom has friends. My mother-in-law has friends and stuff like that, but they're already getting old. And in Thai family, that's kind of what happens as the kids move back home. And if I didn't like it here or anybody was uncomfortable with me being here, for 100% for sure, we wouldn't be here. I don't think we could be here because in Thai family, they don't beat around the bush. So if it didn't work out, we would probably live somewhere else. So I've said this a few times, but the house next door used to be a dilapidated old wooden house full of termites. And my first trip here was, I think, 15 years ago. And I mean, right next to the house, I said, I want that house. I want to buy that house. I want to buy the land. And then, you know, my father-in-law said he could have the building removed and to build a foundation while we're in the States. I said, well, I want that. And they never could get, the people that lived there, they know them, but they had moved away. And they were friends with them. They used to lend them money all the time, and you know, they moved. So they couldn't get a hold of them. And then next thing I know, we came back in 2014, and there was a home built. And they didn't even tell us. I mean, we didn't talk. Paige talked to them. I'm sure Paige probably knew. I don't know. It's a funny thing with Thai people. They don't. Sometimes, or maybe I didn't hear. Maybe I was too busy in my life. But I come back and there's a home there. The gold shop next door bought the property and built a home that they don't even live in. They just built the home because they got shitloads of money because all they do is work all day long. But apparently the people needed money, and my mother-in-law told me the story that they needed money for something, and they sold it really cheap to them, and they were too embarrassed to come ask my in-laws for the money. So we didn't get that deal, but that would have been ideal to build another house right next door. And you know, I could have had the electrical, and you know, I could have done the interior design the way that I really wanted to and stuff like that. But I'm okay with this. And, you know, eventually in the next, who knows, you know, hopefully a long time from now, we're going to find just me and Paige here in this home. But we never plan on staying here full time anyway. The home needs a little bit of remodeling, but we're not going to tear it down and build something else for sure, but probably invest a couple million baht and just trying to get it back, you know, I guess maybe renovated the way we want it. All the electrical needs to be replaced, you know, stuff like that. So that's our future plans here. And 100%, if I was to build a home, it would be a waste of money. I'm a little probably an earlier retirement age than the average, but I'm 56 right now. So what do I got? You know, 56, 66, 76, 20 more years. You know, I just don't want to invest, and Paige doesn't want to waste the money to do that. And that's just the way it is. But remember, and I don't know how many times I've got to keep saying this, is that it's very difficult to be a permanent resident. And a lot of people really don't want to. I would say most. So your visa is good for a year, or you got a 5-year elite or whatever, you know, but you know, a lot of things change. Friends change, people change. I could go on about change in Thailand, you know. We've obviously made a change in our life to move to Thailand, or considering moving to Thailand. Why would you think a permanent, like, okay, this is going to be my permanent place? Look back in your life and see how many things were permanent, you know, other than paying taxes, you know, which you're still obligated to do living over here in Thailand. You still have to pay U.S. taxes. So anyway, don't worry about what other people think of you, and don't do things to try to keep up with somebody else, because they may not be here. Your visa's only good for a year. Hell, there's been, I think, maybe one coup in 2014 that lasted quite a while. May have another one. Maybe it's going to be really tighter restrictions on people coming into Thailand. Maybe things will get, maybe this, maybe that. What if this, that, or the other? But don't try to be permanent. I think it's ridiculous. So be permanent for your family, your spouse. If building a home, I've got a lot of really good friends, and they're building homes like right now. I have some friends that already have houses. It makes sense to them. They're not the type of people that travel. You know, it's what they wanted to do in their life. I don't, you know, some of it financially doesn't make sense to me. Some of them, you know, could have built a house on their family's property, a nice house for just about nothing, and then you know, travel to different parts of Thailand and rent it, you know. It's a different mindset here in Thailand. You got to have it to be successful. So just remember that. Only do what makes sense to you. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. But if you're single, I beg you, just come. Don't think about, you probably already looked on the internet about the cost of condos, you know. Don't do it. Just wait. You know, I would say wait, give it 3 years. I think after 3 years, you'll know if you really, really 100% want to stay in Thailand. I think 3 years is a good time to know. Can I deal with the politics, the food, the culture, the medical, all kinds of things? Can I deal with that to want to consider a permanent structure? You know, try to get some kind of anchor. But yeah. Anyway, that's really all I want to say about that topic. Yesterday, I went to go visit Mom's place. She's in America right now visiting her sister. I think she's ready to come home, mainly because the cost. She's living fat, though. She's eating all kinds of wonderful food that she enjoys, and but she's ready to come back home. So we'll see what Mom says. She's got another month if she wants to come back or not. But I went by her place and made a little video for her on the phone to share about, you know, she wanted to make sure there was no animals living in there. That's Thai police in front of me, and I just watched him pass like a bunch of people on a motorbike with no helmet. Look, this one's coming on the wrong side of the road. It's okay, she has her blinker on, no helmet. See, that's the thing, they don't really, in Thailand, it's kind of up to you. So unless he's told to stop and check for helmets, yeah, I don't know how that's going to work.
Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. I'm knocking on heaven's door. I'm knocking on heaven's door.
All right, at Mom's, I've only come here one time since she's been gone because somebody's supposed to be taking care of her place, but she's concerned about animals living in the house, so let's go check it out for her. I'm gonna make a little video for her on my phone. Okay, is this not, I think am I on the wrong, oh. Okay. Fan's still on. Got some gecko poop. We're gonna have the cleaning girls come around, but thought we'd give them a break. Just gecko poop all over the floor. I got some worms down there. He died. Creepy crawling thing. I know Mom said don't worry about cleaning because nobody's going to be here, but things just get dirty, you know. You have to kind of keep it up. Something fell here. Not sure what. I guess something hanging up holding that. Little sticky thing. Got a big cricket or something in here. I'll have to clean that up for her. Let's go outside. Okay, everything's still alive. All the plants look good and healthy, happy. Let me go pick up those bugs. Oh, Mom, I found what smells in your refrigerator. It's some galanga. I guess it's trying to grow. I'll throw that outside. All right, well, that's good. All good. I'm home now. As my mom always says, it's hot as Hades. Very hot. I'm assuming that's really hot. Whoa, yeah. Hey, fat cat. Yay. Yay. Okay. Tamalai. Oh, watching a movie. I bought a little pocket camera to walk around Hong Kong with. This will be my second attempt. The other one I got sucked. This looks like the same damn camera. Okay, looks like the same exact camera I just ordered, but it can't be. Oh no, maybe it's not. Alright, anyway, I'm home. We'll check it out, the camera out here in a minute. Yeah, this one's not the same.
No. Not the same.
Well, not super happy with the camera. The camera quality sucks. And nothing like the picture. The stability sucks. The picture quality sucks. Yeah, I was kind of hoping to be able to walk around with this. The video clip that they showed with some guy. Bullshit. Must have been on a gimbal or something. But yeah, not happy. Sucks. Let's check out the night vision. Well, at least the night vision camera has some illuminative lights on the side for actual night vision. Yeah. Well, there's nothing that says, I mean, all the reviews showed good on this camera, but yeah, I don't think so. Very grainy. Maybe back here is better. Up close sucks. Really sucks. Bullshit. Yeah, and just kind of hung out yesterday at the house. I lost I bought a couple of black shirts and patia at the night bazaar that fit perfect. And this morning I'm packing to go to Hong Kong, which I'll talk about in just a moment again. I'm packing to go to Hong Kong. I can't find my other shirt. I'm like, what the shit? That's like, those two shirts really fit me well. I like them. Where are they at? She's like, I don't know. I looked all over the house for it, and I said, you know what? I bet when we left Udon, because I wore it in Udon, I said, I bet we probably left a bag in the truck or the SUV, and it's probably still back there. And sure enough, there was a big bag of clothes in the back of the truck. we're leaving here pretty soon to go to Hong Kong. And, you know, we spend a ton of money on traveling. This one's actually pretty cheap, this whole trip. But as much money as we spend on traveling, it doesn't make sense for us to buy a home. Because we spend on the average about, I want to say with everything, maybe 60,000 baht, at least 2,000 a month and just travel expenses, if not more than that. I know I spend I know what I spend because I have to put it on my taxes. I spend, like last year I spent 1,060,000 baht in Thailand. So just traveling alone. But where the hell was I going with that? Oh, so anyway, this trip is, well, I've already told you, 2 nights in Bangkok, 4 nights in Hong Kong, at a 4-star resort or hotel, sorry, and round trip ticket from here to Bangkok, 2 round trip tickets from here to Bangkok, and 2 round trip tickets from Bangkok to Hong Kong. Cost me $850. That's cheap. It's 28,000 baht is what it cost me. That's not going to include the food, which I hear is expensive in Hong Kong, and the transportation to get around. We're going to be going to the mainland, China too, while we're there. And but that's cheap, 28,000 baht. That one's really cheap. But we just got back from Vietnam, and last month I think I spent 2 weeks by myself with Mom in Udon and in Bangkok. Come back for 4 days and then went to Koh Chan. Driving is not like every 500 kilometers or so, maybe 6, I have to put like 1,400 baht worth of diesel in the vehicle. So that's probably our most expensive expense is the fuel cost. It's cheaper to fly, but we like our independence, so we drive. But traveling inside of Thailand is not always cheap. And Koh Chang, we stayed at a couple of nice resorts on the beach. Some of that was my payback for taking off for Udon for so long. Paige booked the hotels in Koh Chang, which I'm fine. When Paige is happy, I'm happy, but she's happy most of the time anyway. And what I love about Paige is she's her simplicity. Like she's never cared about what anybody thinks about her. She's never dressed accordingly to impress anybody. She does what she likes to do, and she's happy. If you're always the type of person who's trying to prove yourself and trying to be better than everybody else, you're gonna become slightly miserable because nobody gives a shit really, nobody cares. And if it bothers you that much, it's gonna upset you. So unfortunately, I get upset sometimes about people because they're annoying, like the comment section. And I probably talk about it too much, but it's so annoying to me that I have to talk about it every now and then because people talk on the internet like children, and they're so worried about what everybody else is doing in their life and pretending that they're like so much better. Like it's a strange world, and when you have to deal with it multiplied by 100, it becomes annoying sometimes. So, but Paige, she brushes stuff off. Paige doesn't care about the YouTube stuff. She doesn't care about it. If I told her, hey, tomorrow I'm not going to do this shit no more, she's like, okay. She doesn't really care. She's just happy that we were able to do what we needed to do to retire and enjoy life and not think too much. And she's happy to be back home with her family. She's happy when we're traveling, and I am too. Like I can't sit still. I'm not going to sit still. So I share my life on the internet for you guys to see, and I know it's helped quite a bit of people see what to expect in Thailand. And I'd love to try to help people, but I really want to stress on the last quarter of your life, most people retire and move here in their 60s. you know, how healthy are you going to be in your mid 80s and 90s? Are you, you know, what's the expectancy of that? So just try to live the last quarter of your life carefree, and you'll be, I think you'll be happy for it. Don't worry about what everybody thinks. Don't try to be better than anybody else, or think you're better than anybody else. And Thailand is a different world. People really don't care. And you'll find yourself not really having a lot in common with a lot of people here. You know, it's not like we're working together, or we're family, or we grew up, we went to school together, stuff like that. You don't know these people that come here, and you know, things don't last very long with friends. Friends come and go here. So it's not the same. Anyway, gonna go to Mukdahan today, and I'm gonna go play some golf. Yesterday I went and played golf. I didn't video, and I'm not gonna video. Not because I give a shit what people think about golfing. It's just I want to go relax and not video and worry about it. I'll be going to Udon with some friends here soon. We'll make some funny videos there, and amongst other things, if Mom decides to come back. So I'm going to go to Udon before I go get her. Yeah, tomorrow, actually, I wanted to go. Yeah, tomorrow I'm thinking about getting another cortisone shot. My hands feel great except my thumb. I don't know what happened. My thumb is hurting right here. I guess old age. And I'm going to go get just one cortisone shot. Usually it lasts for like 3 months. But the main reason why I'm going is my mother-in-law wants to get one in her knees, but she's scared. So I'm going to go with her. So we'll go together. And she's going to get cortisone shots in her knees so she can try to lose a little bit of weight. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll get that done tomorrow. But we're headed out to Hong Kong. It's going to be an awesome trip. And then, like I said, my brother-in-law is coming. I don't know what we're going to do then. And probably stay home for a week or two. I don't know. That's the best thing about it is I don't know. I don't have plans. I don't have commitments other than family and a carefree life. And yeah, enjoy yourself. Good morning. All right, guys, back from playing golf. Had a really, really good golf game today. Was very happy. Just got back from the walking street market. But it's only yellow. Yeah, looks like there's quite a few more items there. Anyway, enjoying my evening dinner with a bonus strawberry, not strawberry, they just take watermelon and just mix it up with some ice. Good stuff. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.